Hi, this is Layla McCarter.
Hi, Layla. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Excellent, thank you. If you're listening to the show, we are joined now by Layla McCarter, who will be fighting on the upcoming BKB card that's headlined by Gabriel Rosado versus Curtis Stevens. Layla will be fighting for one of the first women ever to fight on the BKB card, so that's very exciting. Since we, at the top of the show, we're talking about women's boxers and the great matches that we have seen lately. It's a pleasure to have you with us this evening.
Thank you.
So talk to us a little bit. BKB is a different format. This is obviously your first time in the pit. Talk to us a little bit of how this came to be and what expectations you have about fighting in this type of setting as opposed to the traditional ring.
Well, I think the BKB wanted to create some excitement around the event, and the MMA has Ronda Rousey, so they want to have a good female champion as well. So knowing that I'm a local fighter and I have a good following in Las Vegas, they contacted my manager, and that's how we got started negotiating for this fight. And I'm expecting it's going to be an interesting thing. I don't know quite what to expect with the pit, but I guess it's boxing just in a smaller area.
Have you had a chance to step into it and try it out yet?
Well, a little bit. We got to move around in there a little bit, and tomorrow we're going to do some sparring at the BKB gym. So I'll get a little bit of a feel for it tomorrow.
Excellent.
Yeah,
go ahead,
as long as you don't have to, basically you just have to, familiarize yourself with not fighting off the ropes. So.
Right. Yeah, I don't do a lot of that anyway, but there's also less room to move around. I kind of like to use the space in the ring most of the time. But I guess I'll just have to keep my angles tighter. And, I'm a good boxer. I have good balance on my feet, so that should benefit me in this arena. So, yeah.
So, this fight, it comes off of a recent victory for you after, a long layoff. You moved up and won the super welterweight title in South Africa back in 2012, and then you didn't fight for over 2 years.
Right. There hasn't been any fights that made sense. Well, I had a lot of layoffs over the period of my last few fights. A year and a half before that. That fight in South Africa, I was off a year and a half before that fight. So, it's just, waiting for the fights that make sense to me. So something, has got to make sense with the fight. Otherwise, So, no, but I didn't feel any ring rust, really. Came right back, and we do a lot of sparring in my training. So, it didn't affect me at all.
And, the person that you fought was Melissa Hernandez. This was your third fight with her.
Right.
So,
yeah, it was good to get that trilogy out of the way.
How did the fight go? It seems like Melissa's been kind of on the skid lately. Is she not up to her?
I don't think she's ever been up to my level. You know what? She's never been up to my level, and I let her get one in on me. On our second fight, I had an off day. Hats off to her for showing up, but I gave that fight away. Honestly, I mean, the first fight I stopped her, so I come back a couple months later and just gave her a majority decision victory. So I made it really clear in the last fight, who I am in the ring and who she is. So, it was nice to get that out of the way.
Your opponent for this fight, Diana Prazak, how did, it come about that you chose her?
There was nobody else, honestly, that was willing to step up and take this fight. And I told the BKB to get me anybody from 135 to 154, anybody. And the only one that came through was Diana Prazak, and she said, well, yeah, I'll do it, but I fight only up to 133. So, ironically, I have to come down even more, a couple pounds, but that's okay. I said, fine, let's do it,
Yeah.
Got to do what you got to do.
At 133 before.
I weighed in 133, actually, for my last fight, but the contract was 138. I just don't like having that pressure on me to make weight. Yeah, I made the contract with Melissa Hernandez, whatever she wanted, and she chose 138. I said, fine, great. And, I kind of
She chose 138. She's just supposed to be a smaller fighter. She's like a natural featherweight.
She should be. Yeah, it's hard for her, but she was even overweight coming to that fight. You know, she had to come down. And my theory is, like, if both of us are coming down to make weight, what is the point? You know, let's just, don't put any added pressure on ourselves. Let's just set the bar high, and whatever we weigh, we weigh. I don't care what they weigh. So.
Now, what struck my curiosity with Prazak taking the fight is she's coming off a fight with Delphine Pursoon, and in the lightweight division, you and her is the fight.
Right.
So.
Yes.
Do you think this would be like a good marketing fight for you to get that?
I think so. You know, the fight with Pursoon will happen if they're willing to come up with the right money. That's basically all it is. And we've already talked about this fight. You know, I think that's the fight to be made in the lightweight division. You know, but if she doesn't want to do it, you know, we'll hold out and take brackets in the welterweight division or anybody else up to whatever weight they want. I don't care. You know, I take whatever's out there.
You don't care. I mean,
I don't care what they weigh. I don't. Yeah.
Would you fight the best welterweight in the world, though?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cecilia?
I fight anybody at any weight. Yeah. Absolutely. And I won't just fight them. I'll beat them.
Anybody can get it.
That would be amazing.
Anybody. You know what? I take any fight in any weight because the way I see it, the weight only matters if it hits you, right? So, you know, and I don't plan on getting hit.
Good point.
Yeah,
and if I do, well, I can take it. I can handle it. So that's why they call me
you are a goon. I just love the way you're answering this and your whole approach to this. I'm really, really hyped to see your fight. The whole card is on pay-per-view. Will your card be part of your fight be part of the pay-per-view broadcast?
I believe so. I believe it should be part of the broadcast, yeah. There's going to be, I think, 3 other title fights as well. You know, all the returning champions from the first BKB will be defending their titles. And then, you know, this will be a new title fight. We're fighting for the BKB lightweight female title. So it'll be the first time I think the women have been in the BKB, as far as I know. And this will be the first female title fight as well.
That's excellent. The fact that there is a title associated with it means they have the intention of furthering, you know, continuing to have women appearing on their card, which is very progressive and something that should be happening on, you know, the traditional platform as well. So that's awesome. I did
absolutely, and by getting some exposure, we can shame these big promoters into doing what's right. You know, hopefully, you know, Bob Arum and all these other promoters will be taking a look at that and saying, wow, you know, the women are representing well. I mean, even better than some of the guys here. So, you know, we need to open our eyes and do something about it. You know, I don't think it's going to happen with some of these old dogs, but, you know.
True. And, you know, I think the BKB platform was perfect for you to you know, show your talents because, honestly, as far as the males go, I mean, they might be entertaining fighters, but they're not necessarily world class. And with you and Prazak, this is 2, you know, world championship quality. Even if you're not necessarily with the title right now, you know, women, you know, pound for pound, the best in the sport. And I just think you can show a lot of skill to, you know, a lot of people that are going to see this and won't expect it.
I agree. If you're going to get somebody to open the eyes to the world of women's boxing, you know, who better than me, who's been around, you know, as long as I have and done what I've done in the sport. And, you know, at any given time, I don't care about the belts. I'm a 6-time world champion. I've done it all. You know, I fought everybody everywhere and set a lot of records, but, you know, still haven't breached that, you know, that big gap when it comes to the public, you know, being able to be seen on big shows. So, you know, DirecTV is doing a great move here with the BKB. And hopefully it benefits us. I hope so.
Absolutely.
What do you think? I have a question. Okay. We see that MMA has been very forward-thinking with really, really showcasing women's fighters and Bellator, UFC. How were they getting it right, and how was boxing falling short? What do you think is? It was just a change of attitude, you know, really, because Dana White always said, I'll never have women fighting in the UFC. He said that, and there's a video of that online you can find where he says, you know, when will women fight in the UFC? He said never. You know, that was his attitude before, and now look at that. His big ticket,
Ronda Rousey. So it just takes a change of attitude, really. And, you know, some of these guys are stuck in the dark ages, and unfortunately, those attitudes are hard to change. You know, Don King did it with Christy Martin. He put Christy up before Mike Tyson fought, and she was a Showtime, like, co-feature. And this was in the 90s and the early 2000s. And what's happened since, it's disgraceful.
Do you think Ronda's, you know, participation in the Olympics played into her, you know, marketing as she became a professional MMA fighter?
I don't think so. I'm not sure about that. Yeah. I don't know. I think it was
I just asked because, you know, we recently, in the most recent Olympics, you know, female boxers, you know, participated for the first time. So I'm wondering.
Right.
You know,
that was a great thing. It was a great thing. And we have a gold medalist, Clarissa Shields, who receives far less support than any male boxer that would come back with a medal, much less a gold medal. But, you know.
Well, you know, the last
little by
Olympic male medalist was Deontay Wilder, and he's heavyweight champion now. Well, he has one of the belts.
He was a bronze medalist, right?
Right. He's a bronze medalist.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's just attitudes, and, you know, you can talk to people every day, and you'll hear a bunch of them saying that women shouldn't fight, and, you know, I don't want to see girls hit each other, and, you know, they haven't seen it in the proper way. They haven't seen good female fighters, you know. So
well, you know,
we'll see what
that
happens.
answer is it's really, honestly, it's really stupid. It's a really stupid answer to that question. I don't want to see women fighting each other or hitting each other, but on any given time, you can log on to Facebook, Twitter, and see any number of fight videos of women fighting. So why not see it in the way that it was intended, in a safe, regulated fashion? So
and I'm not saying give us a gift. Give us the opportunity to show what we can do, because, you know, women can do it just as good as men, and they haven't been able to see that, unfortunately, on the big platform, and that's what's keeping us back. You know, so hopefully things improve.
Yeah. Next time someone tries to counter me with that argument about women's boxing, I'm going to say, well, you know, stop logging on to sites like the hip-hop website that likes to put fights and things of women fighting, and Facebook and all these things where we, in a street fashion, women fighting, and watch it in a more organized fashion. It'll be far more enjoyable, and, you know, it supports women in the sport. Well, I'm very
Some of them refuse to believe, even when they see it, they refuse to believe. There's a lot of hard-headed people out there, but you know what? We just got to keep showing it to them the best that we can. You know, and I keep doing my job, and hopefully the promoters step up and do their jobs. And, you know, we're in business.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, I'm very anxious to see your fight. I'm glad it's for a belt, because that means they have the intention of doing additional fights in the future. And I wish you the best of luck, and I think you'll do a great job, and it'll be a great matchup. Ryan, do you have any additional questions for Layla?
Oh yeah, you know, I just got one question. You know, as a future inductee into the International Women's Boxing Hall of Fame, who was the best opponent you fought in your career? Or you can break them off into categories if you want to. It's too difficult to go for all.
It's just, you know, it's been such a long career. I've fought so many good fighters, and I just can't really. You know, it's tough. That's a tough one.
Best pure boxer.
Pure boxer? Alicia Ashley was a good boxer. We fought at 122 pounds. She's a really good, slick boxer. JoJo Wyman was a good, strong self. I defended my title, too. The featherweight title, it was one of the roughest fights that I had. And I was lucky. I ended with a draw, and I retained my belt. But, you know, I think that was pure fortune, because that was a rough fight.
Puncher?
Puncher. Jelena Marjanovic of Canada, probably. She packs a left hook like nobody's business, man. And you know, I felt the left hook. I heard the left hook before I felt it, and then I grabbed her, and I realized, wow, that was a good left hook. You know, my knees kind of failed me there for a minute, and I just held on tighter, and I'm like, yeah, okay, wow. You know, she can hit. She's knocked out people with that left hook, you know, with one shot. If you watched when she knocked out Olivia Garula, I think Janine Garside too, she's knocked out a bunch of people with that left hook. Yeah, she's dangerous if you stand in front of her and get careless, which I did in that moment. She can be devastating. Chevelle Hallback's a pretty good puncher, but she's very wild. Yeah. I mean, there's just so many great fighters out there, and it's just a shame that, they're not seen more. And I fought them all. So, this will be one more, Diana Prazak, which I'm looking forward to fighting because her trainer never wanted to fight me, Lucia Riker.
Oh, she's still training?
So she's her trainer, yeah. And we had the opportunity to fight twice. Once at Staples Center. It was on a big undercard. They offered me to fight Lucia Riker, and they turned me down, her team. And Emmanuel Stewart told me flat out that, we can't afford a loss. So, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, they were building the fight with Martin, and they didn't want to screw it up. And he said, we can't afford the loss. So I said, okay, well, I understand, but that sucks for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see that, especially.
So I'll take her student on. That's okay. I'll take her pupil, and then I'll call her out again. Call her out of retirement.
Get her out of retirement.
And then, maybe bring Ronda Rousey over to the pit. We'll see what happens.
Meet
in the middle.
Ronda, she's not going to box anybody.
That's not quite the middle. Yeah.
Ronda don't have no hands. She can do a lot of things, but she don't have no hands.
That's true, and it's still boxing. Bottom line is still boxing, so. Can't take me down, then it's probably not going to happen.
That's right.
Well, thank you guys for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you
so
much.
Ahead.
I have
one.
Bye-bye. Okay, I have one more quick question. So recently we've seen Ronda Rousey call out Layla Ali.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Okay.
Layla Ali's a light heavyweight, and she's been retired since 2007. And, if you're going to call out Floyd Mayweather, give me a break. Call out the best woman in the game. I'm here. I'm ready. If you want to talk boxing, we'll do boxing.
Right. Your weight matches up everywhere.
Her trainer once wanted me to work with her with her hands. One of her mentors there, Jean LaBelle, asked me if I could work with her one day when I was in L.A. I said, sure. And she didn't show up. She was late from work or whatever. I said, okay, that's fine. And then I see her on TV. She turned pro in the MMA, and, now she's a superstar. It's pretty awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
but I'll give her a boxing lesson anytime they want to pay for it. Absolutely.
I've heard that. No, you can't. These are not no hookups. Your time is valuable.
Nope. I mean, in the ring, in a fight, I would love to meet up with her. She thinks she's very tough, and she thinks she's good, and she is good in what she does. But if she wants to bring it to boxing, I'm sorry, but this is boxing. This is what I do. I'm not going to go and challenge her in what she does. I'm going to get an armbar. I know that. But I can't say for $1 million I wouldn't just sign up for that. Okay. We'll
for
$1
million,
happens,
I would sign up, and I already know I'm going to catch an ass whooping, and I most definitely would sign up. So at least you have a chance.
The realistic thing is that's her game. That's her game. That's what she does best. She'll take me down. She'll get my arm. I know. Unless I catch her with a punch on the way in, which could happen, but realistically, I'm not going to go challenge somebody at what they do. And if she wants to start talking about challenging boxers, hey, I'm here. Let's do it.
All right.
Yep.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, best of luck to you. I'm really looking forward to it now. That's great. So if folks
thank you. We'll come on again and talk about the victory. Huh?
Absolutely. Are you in social media? If folks want to keep up with you and follow you and cheer you on?
Yes, Layla McCarter on Facebook, and I've also got a Twitter account, which I don't really know how to use that well, but, I'm on Facebook. That's my number one thing.
Excellent. We will definitely I'm going to follow you right now.
Yeah,
and BKB Boxing is on Facebook as well. BKB, Big Knockout Boxing, is on Facebook as well. And they keep all the news about Rosado and all the other champions fighting in the card. So, and they're doing a really good thing with the BKB, having women included and being a big part of it, too. I think it's really awesome.
Excellent. All right. Well, we will look forward to seeing you, and we will look forward to talking to you again after your victory.
Thanks a lot. All right. Bye-bye.
Take care.